She lost the breast to cancer. Isn't that a strange way to call it? The word lost, as if she had misplaced it. A frantic woman running around trying to find her breast. It is lost, she tells her friends. I cannot find it. Turning the house upside down, looking for her breast as if it were a set of keys. I studied English and art at university, and naturally I was really interested in images and text. The entire breast cancer text I just read was located in the painting that woman is looking at. After graduating, I went and worked in industry as a graphic and web designer in Cincinnati and San Francisco, and busied myself telling other people's stories. It wasn't until I got the chance to follow the transmedia program at St. Lucas in Brussels that I again got the opportunity to be a designer and author. While there, I used the internet as a platform for me to explore technology and different means of telling stories. Towards the end of my studies, I started wanting to explore possibilities outside of the computer screen and wanted to attempt to share information with people within their everyday surroundings. In this particular project, I asked my fellow classmates in my Dutch course to lend me a pair of their shoes and fill out a card as part of a storefront exhibition. Together with projections, this project made it possible for us to share our experience. My own experience learning Dutch at a CVO in Hoboken. It gave us the chance to say what we missed from our homeland and what we liked about Belgium. It also brought with it the idea of a new audience. Before we moved to New Zealand in 2004 for me to teach design, I was given the opportunity to do a projection project in Brussels. I consider myself really fortunate in life. I'm blessed. And I developed a karmic fiction in which I created 10 fictional lives and deaths of really good people and animals that chronologically ended with me. In 2005, I got the chance to create a poster for an organization in Switzerland that was concerned with the impact of the world becoming a smaller place. For me, this was really an example of type becoming an image. The title is Beauty, Heaviness, and Phenomena. And for this particular project, I was invited to take part in a fringe event at a design festival. And this project is called I Know Your Address by Heart. Surely this must mean something. I printed 100 postcards and told participants that I would mail their postcard for them on one condition, that they knew the address by heart. These addresses held a sort of mythical status, mailed to locations all over the world. The addresses recalled were old student flats, houses that no longer existed, and the old addresses of loved ones. They often actually wrote to the location instead of a person, and the beautiful part was that some of them actually got stories back. This was my first narrative poster series. This was a proposal for an arts project in a suburb of Paris. I created 4 fictional storylines based on a person's relationship to their community, the street, the neighborhood, the city, and even the countryside. Behind this wall, beyond those buildings, was a photographic art submission for a local museum in New Zealand. It's a fictional image of text, and it doesn't really exist. It was meant to start a dialogue about 2 of New Zealand's primary controversial features, land and water. One of the highest points in Hamilton, this hill, as it used to be, would have sloped down gradually, nearly reaching what was formerly one of the most important rivers in New Zealand, the Waikato. This text attempts to say that if the city were to be remade again, it would build up around the hill, and the river would be part of the city. Now, the means by which we find our way is a project that my colleague and I created. It started out as a graphic design exhibition, and then it ended up touring kind of internationally. It was featured in magazines like Typo and Open Manifesto, and ultimately it became a book. It features over 70 graphic design educators from over 20 countries around the world, and there's no way I could possibly tell you about it in 2 slides. So if you have my business card, which is that, located under your chair, you've got a book for you. So there are 4 of you. Don't worry right now, just wait. Last year, I was fortunate enough to team up with an organization in Brussels called CityMind. I created 3 narratives which dealt with ideas around exchange and personal responsibility and contribution to community. It was then translated into the 12, yes 12, most widely spoken languages of Brussels. That looks something like this. In this particular story, we follow the life of a banknote, the items as it's exchanged for and with, ending with someone receiving it as a gift and their struggle to know if the banknote is the gift or the value of the banknote is the gift. And this is a project or an example of how my projects kind of filter into my teaching. In this project called A New Message, students were required to translate a personal text message into a typographic visual. The one on the right was a gesture about a mother, a friend's mate. His mom was in hospital and he wanted to send him a good vibe. In 14 reflections, some fictional, I created a textual response to 14 works in a gallery. In this response, it was in response to a song, and it's real. In our student house at the corner of First and Pearl, Jessica said, "Imagine if, in the future, we could keep living within our means like we do now." For the duration of the show, I would put up a new text every day. Now for the last slide I want to share with you, it's part of a new project in Leuven, and I just started that this week on Tuesday. And so I started with a story, and I'll end with another story. They are a young and educated couple. She knows she should buy bras from the bra shop and bread from the baker. He knows that he should buy meat from the butcher and flowers for her at the florist on the corner. Instead, they get into their car and buy it all at once at the big store on the edge of the city, the store that has everything. And when they are older, they will reminisce about the bra shop, the baker, the butcher, and florist. Thanks.